Wet and tricky qualifying has given way to just greasy conditions, and with a jumbled up grid here for a new round of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship. Motorsport's premier all-electric single-seater racing category here on the talkSPORT network and the Formula E app. As we get ready to go racing, as always, it's myself, Lewis McGlade, Saunders Carmichael Brandon in the commentary booth alongside, and we are getting ready for round 6 of season 12 and the 23 laps of the 2026 Cooper Raval Madrid E-Prix. This is a new circuit for us, our 40th different track in Formula E. It is the Circuito de Madrid Jarama. It's the longest circuit we visit all season long, and let me talk you through the 3.9 kilometres of this tricky, twisty track. We've got turn 1, it's a right-hand hairpin in a diagonal braking zone courtesy of a kink just before it, and then a fast right kink at turn 2 leads into a double hairpin sequence, the first of which is a longer one to the left at turn 3, and the second is a tighter one at turn 4 to the right. Both of them are fairly steeply cambered. After that, it's the fast left of turn 5 as we rise up a slight hill. At the crest of that hill, though, is turn 6. The circuit drops away as we go through this right-hander, and it flows back from right, then back over to the left-hand side into the turn 7 hairpin. It is off camber. It hosts attack mode on the outside as well, which they have to use just once this afternoon. The track then drops downhill once more through turn 8. There's a lot of gravel on the right-hand side of that one. That's a left-hand corner, and then we go up the hill at turn 9 into a left-hand hairpin. There's a double apex hairpin at turn 10, which goes to the right. It drops down quite a descent into turn 11. It's a fast right-hander after that, and there's a chicane that goes from left to right and then back to left as we go back out onto the start-finish straight. Talk you through the starting grid. It's an all-Brazilian final row of the grid. We've got Lucas de Grassi and Felipe Drugovich starting from 20th and 19th position. It's 18th for Jean-Eric Vergne. It's his joint worst start this season. Joel Eriksson will start alongside in 17th. Mitch Evans is his worst start since Shanghai last year. He'll be starting from 16th position for Jaguar TCS Racing, and Taylor Bonnet is his worst start in 20 races, from 15th for the Briton, still searching for his first victory in Formula E. 14th for Sebastian Buemi, it's Nico Muller for Porsche, who'll be starting from 13th. Pepe Marti's been on the points 3 times from his 5 races, and he is, of course, a rookie. He's only done 5 races in the championship. He's starting from 12th position. Jake Dennis, 1 race won this season, but he was starting from 11th here. Zane Maloney, inside the top 10, will start from 10th alongside Dan Tickton, who struggled at the early parts of qualifying, but did top free practice 1 yesterday. Oliver Rowland will be celebrating 100 races in Formula E. The world champion will start from 8th position alongside Max Gunther, who scored points only once this season. Pascal Wehrlein, the championship leader, will start from 6th spot alongside Edo Mortara in a double pole last round, but didn't convert either of them to a victory. Norman Nato, it's his second top 5 start this season. He'll be starting from 4th position for Nissan alongside Antonio Felix da Costa, who's starting his 150th race in Formula E. He's the 3rd driver in its history to reach that benchmark. The front row of the grid is Nick de Vries, whose first front row start since London last year. And leaving all of that, it is a new team on pole position. Nick Cassidy will be grabbing the first pole position for Citroën, looking to search for a 2nd victory of the season. Saunders, qualifying was exciting, was thrilling as always. It was mistake-filled because of the conditions, but it's drier now, but it's still difficult.
It is indeed. The grandstands are filled. We're ready to go. It's going to be a bit of a tactical chess match early on, trying to control the race from the front. Nick Cassidy on pole position. He's one of the most in tuned and when it comes to strategy, but can he do it again and get his 2nd win of the season? Let's see what happens. Race start imminent, Lewis.
Just 23 laps. They have attack mode, which they only use once during this race, and they also have pit boosts to deal with as well for the first time in just a single header weekend.
Yeah, this is a completely new combination we haven't seen before, just having that one attack mode and the pit boost on a single header, like you said. Now, we've seen how crucial combining attack mode with pit boost is. In this race, they have no choice. And I think what we're likely to see is that attack mode used instantly after that extra energy has gone in after pit boost, maximising the extra energy to have the extra grip, have the extra power, and kind of get yourself in the position where you want to finish the race.
Yeah, and we haven't had any cars flying around the circuit at high speed since qualifying, which was tremendously difficult. Very greasy conditions. Drivers were really struggling with it at both parts of qualifying, either the 300 kilowatt group stages or the 350 kilowatts that were in the dual. We're expecting drivers to struggle quite a lot in the opening stages of this race. It is a big open hairpin as the opening corner. I am expecting maybe 3, maybe 4 wide. There's a bit of smoke as the drivers have done their burnouts from 2 rows back. They've moved themselves into their respective grid positions. And it'll be Nick Cassidy who will have the pole position and the whole shot down into the first corner. The green flag is waved at the rear end of the field, and 20 cars are ready to fire around the 40th different circuit that the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship has gone to. It is round 6 of the championship. It is the 2026 Cooper Raval Madrid E-Prix. The lights come on ahead of the drivers. It's Cassidy, it's De Vries, Da Costa and Nato. There's still a bit of a hold on the grid, but finally we are ready to go racing. 23 laps ahead of us. And we are racing here at Madrid for the first time. It's a good start from our pole sitter. It's a good start as well from Antonio Felix Da Costa from 3rd in the grid. He's stolen away 2nd down into the opening corner. He's already looking to the outside for the race lead. Nick De Vries going back on the attack of Nick Cassidy, 5 down the inside. And Norman Nato has been off the road a little bit in his Nissan. He's going to drop a whole host of positions to being outside the top 10. Cassidy, though, will continue to lead as they head their way into turn 3, the left-hand hairpin.
A pretty safe start from everyone then. I think this is what we expected to see. Not necessarily wanting to lead or do too much in the opening stages of the race. You're saving that energy in the slipstream, but not too much, because you have to remember there is a pit window when it comes to pit boost. So you want to dictate the race and the energy use, but not leave it too late before getting into that window.
Side by side, heading up the hill out of turn 5 into what is my favourite part of this circuit, where they go through turn 6 and 7. They drop down the hill, they flick it through this sort of right, left, right flowing complex, slowing down constantly as they head their way to the hairpin. It was Pascal Verlaine who made a couple of positions up there. He got past Mortara and Tictum and up to 4th. Tictum, though, still battling with the Mahindra of Edo Mortara as they head down the hill through turn 8, rising back up into the braking zone of turn 9. It's a left-hand hairpin that's quite easy on the brakes, but quite difficult to manage properly. It kind of moves around a little bit on the right-hand side of the circuit. There's a bit of gravel track to deal with as well. So plenty for the drivers to think about and keep their eye on the prize.
Now, we did have rain earlier in the day. It looks like it's dried up a little bit, but to know really how quickly that circuit is going to dry, the little bit of drying it still has left to do, is where tyre pressure comes in. And that has been crucial. We've seen someone come into the pit. It's Zane Maloney, I think. Yeah,
Lola Yamaha app driver Zane Maloney has returned to pit lane. He had a solid start to the race, but I wonder if maybe he picked up a puncture on the opening lap. 1 lap complete here in Madrid. And it is Cassidy leading from De Vries, from Da Costa, Verlaine, Tictum, Mortara, Gunther, Dennis, Roland and Norman Nato, who's regained 2 positions after going wide at the opening corner. Cassidy leads by half a second, though.
Seems very, very well behaved, and you know, as we said, I think this is what we expected. They need to understand their targets. Is Dan Tixon, Team Radio?
Yes, good work done. Let's settle in there. And drive mode 2, reminder on brake pads.
Words of affirmation there from the Tixon's team there. Yeah, as we said, Lewis, yeah, it is all about just dictating this race from the start here, because you don't want to overconsume, and then when you do get that extra energy in the pit boost and combine it with attack mode, not really be able to use it that much. But equally, you don't want to get yourself in a position where you leave it too late. This is very tactical, this opening stage of this race, in a way that we probably haven't seen before, because we haven't had this combination of the single attack mode and pit boost combined before.
Yeah, I'm very curious how that one's going to unfold. Zane Maloney, by the way, it was an update from race control. It was a technical infraction, which is what gave him the drive-through penalty. So it was a puncturing of that. He has rejoined. He's about 16 seconds off of his teammate, and it is a Lola Yamaha at 19th and 20th at the moment during this race. Someone's front wing has just flown off there. It looked as though, I was going to say it was one of the Nissans, but no, it was one of the Mahindras. It is Nick De Vries' Mahindra's front wing has come off. There must have been some contact. He currently runs in 4th position, and he's trying to fend off his teammate in Edo Mortara and Max Gunther as well. De Vries losing his front wing. I think it was in contact with the Jaguar TCS racing car, potentially. No, it was the Porsche ahead. Pascal Verlaine just drove straight into the back of Verlaine, and that has cost Da Costa a few positions as well.
That is unfortunately something we have seen a little bit from De Vries in the past. He does get his nose into some places where it doesn't belong occasionally. Whether that was Pascal being a little bit too harsh on the brakes, we don't know, but yeah, not good for Nick De Vries either way.
No, and it's ripped that wing clean off. Like, the only thing that's left is the nose of the car. So in that sense, I wouldn't necessarily suggest this is going to be a black and orange flag where he'd have to return for mandatory fixing of the car. I don't know what the deal is when it comes to that from race control. We'll get an update on that indeed. But there's no parts hanging off the car, so it is in a fair state where nothing's going to fall off even further.
Yeah, I think in Formula E that sort of thing happens so much that the rules are slightly different to other championships. A little bit more leeway is given as long as it isn't impeding the racing line or even on the track or causing any danger to anyone. The only thing that might change that, I guess, in this example is having a lot of the gravel traps on the outside. You know, that is potentially in the line if someone was to run offline a little bit. So yeah, but it seems to have impacted the racing as we go.
Jakarta E-Prix winner Dan Ticktum has found himself in second spot now on the attack of Nick Cassidy at the front end of this field. Remember that Dan Ticktum was extremely fast in free practice 1 yesterday. Struggled a little bit at the start of today. He's being attacked by Pascal Wehrlein, who's going to steal away second position as we complete the third lap. 20 left to go. It's Cassidy, Wehrlein, Ticktum, Mortara, Gunther, Da Costa, De Vries, Dennis, Nato and Roland, who are the top 10 as we get our first look at the engine numbers. Everyone pretty much on the same camp, it looked.
Pretty similar. I think Nick Cassidy on one side maybe using a little bit more by punching that hole in the air at the front of the pack, but then equally he's so efficient when it comes to using that regen, slowing down into the corners. He now potentially knows that it might not be beneficial to lead for as long as he have been, so it's backed up a little bit. Maybe his team being on the radio tells him he doesn't need to quite be pushing as hard as he was. Get himself in that target range that he needs to be ready for the pit boost window. Yeah,
as much as you do. This is the thing with the pit boost race. So the way pit boost works, you can't come in at any random point of the race. It's once the battery has effectively got below 60%. Here's Ticktum on the radio quickly.
We're happy in this position. Be efficient.
And they're saying basically don't take over the race lead yet. We're happy where we are, picking up the slipstream of Nick Cassidy's Citroen. But yes, you want to burn a little bit of energy pretty quickly because you do want to get below that 60%, so then you can come into it opens up your strategy to come in pretty early. But because this lap is so long, there was a lot of chat in free practice 2 this morning from various team managers, a couple of engineers as well, where they were saying effectively they think that pretty much the entire grid are going to stop on 1 of 2 laps.
Yeah, I think because of, like you said, it's the longest lap in Formula E now. Energy comes at a premium. That it does massively reduce the targets and where you can kind of find the differences and the margins to be better than your competitors. I think, and having a little think about this race and what's ahead, I would say that someone coming out in front holding the pack and then pushing to use energy to get in first for pit boost. So I think what Cassidy's doing now, he pushed a little bit, he's lifted off a bit now. We might see maybe in 5-6 laps time or so him push a bit more to get into that window and find that sweet spot for the pit boost extra energy, and then get out straight into attack mode, and then from that point maybe even be the case that if you don't go into attack mode on the outlap of that pit boost, is trying to time it exactly when everyone behind you takes it.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, what I'm seeing from Cassidy here is I think he's trying to hold on to the race lead by keeping, every time Wehrlein gets alongside him, he kind of like fends him off a little bit. But realistically speaking, I don't think he's exactly desperate to hang on to that race. I think he's running his own number and just letting them all fight around him. If they get alongside, cool, maybe I'll put the foot down a little bit more.
And this is where it comes into the confidence in the strategy from the team. Like, if they know that regardless of cars around them, Nick can drive to a certain consistency every single lap, he can hit the targets that they need to hit the pit boost window and get themselves into the strategy they want to win the race. Whereas all the others potentially might have, sitting in the slipstream, we didn't start on pole position, we can save energy by doing that, so don't take the lead. And that doesn't necessarily mean that is counter to Nick Cassidy's strategy, because their strategy came from being in the lead.
Yeah, exactly. Into attack mode for the very first time today, it's Felipe Jugovic, the Andretti driver, who is currently in 17th position, make that 16th. He's already gained 1 on the Envision of Joel Eriksson. It's pretty tight toward the front, but we're 5 laps in. We have completed those 5 laps as we cross the line now, so there's 18 left to go, with Cassidy remaining as our race leader, and he's just at the fastest final sector of the race. It's Wehrlein, Ticktum, Da Costa, Mortara, Dennis, Gunther, Dennis, Roland, Verne and Nato who are behind, and there was a bit of a battle coming in between Ollie Roland and Jean-Eric Verne in the Citroen. I think he is able to fend off the world champion at the moment. It is the Citroen of Verne, sits in 8th position at present. Again, everyone's really tight. It is one big pack from first down to 19th. The only driver on the grid who's not a part of this pack is Zane Maloney, who obviously came through that drive-through. When I mean pack, I don't mean like the constant overtake slipstream race like we've seen before. It's just one big line of cars.
Yeah, exactly. The margins are so tight in Formula E. The competition in this championship is remarkable. It's a matter of seconds separating the entire grid. And we're not talking, we're talking under 10 seconds between 19 drivers in this case. Yeah. 6 seconds at that. It's so impressive. And I think for anyone listening, watching right now, enjoy this. Enjoy this. I don't even want to say calm, because it will be changing very, very soon.
Yeah, it is going to get exciting. We know it is. As Jean-Eric Verne is the first one to really start forcing the issue. He goes side by side at the moment with Jake Dennis at the top of the hill as they head their way into the double apex right-hander of 10. Jake Dennis is trying to fight the one back, but Jean-Eric Verne is making some progress. Felipe Drugovich in attack mode now finds himself in the top 10. You noticed something on the energy reveal. There's a couple of drivers like Ollie Rowland that are way up on percentage.
Oliver Rowland, yeah, we're 4 or 5% up on that last reveal we said, and Felipe Drugovich into attack mode. Now that completely throws out the strategy that I've talked about as probably being the most optimum coming out of pit boost, so they might be hedging their bets there, thinking if everyone's going to do that, let's try something else.
One mistake to that, though, is Oliver Rowland has just received a drive-through penalty for overpower during the start procedure. So as much as things are looking great and rosy on that one, so did I say, so there's also the 5-second time penalty for De Vries as well, but a drive-through for Ollie Rowland. That's so costly.
That's hugely costly. I wonder if the team knew that were coming and they were telling him to save like crazy in order to be able to use some of that extra energy when he comes back out.
This is getting a little bit hectic here as there's 3 wide, even as we head into the second of the double hairpin sequence at turn 4. Nick De Vries is continuing to struggle with his car as he drops back down into 16th position now. It's Cassidy still leading from Wehrlein and Ticktum. Somehow that top order's not really changed despite them going side by side for multiple corners. Then it's De Costa in 4th, Mortara in 5th. It is the attack mode using Felipe Drugovich. He has 3 minutes left to go of his attack mode. They only have to use attack mode once this afternoon, but it is 6 minutes of usage. Then it is Gunther, Dennis, Jean-Eric Verne and Norman Nato, the top 10. There's a look to the outside, comes in from Felipe Drugovich as he finds his way past Edo Mortara with relative ease as he heads his way into the final complex of the circuit.
Nick Cassidy still leading, about 1% down on energy, and now crucially just about 9% short of opening that pit boost window. Is Cassidy going to drop back to get himself at equal energy into the pit boost window, or does he back himself to save that afterwards?
I think he'll back himself. He's very good on energy when he needs to be. Felipe Drugovich into the back slightly of Antonio Felix da Costa a couple of times as they go through turn 10 and then 11. Now down through 12, 13 and 14. This final chicane that goes from left to right and then back to left again. He's found his way up into 4th position, down into turn 1, and he'll be up to 3rd, and I think by the end of this lap he will be the race leader. Still side by side for the race lead between Cassidy and Wehrlein.
Yeah, just trying to think about how far Felipe Drugovich has climbed up the order there. I think entering attack mode P10 into P2.
Yeah, end up in 16th on his attack mode as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a huge climb, just shows you the power of attack mode, and what will that do? Combined with the extra energy from pit boost, I think we could see some big, serious battling out of that window.
Very much so. Felipe Drugovich has just found his way past Nick Cassidy to take over the race lead, and I'm pretty sure it'll be his first lap lane. Here he is on the radio.
Good job, mate, good job. Vamos.
And I will say, if attack mode rather is looking that potent this afternoon, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. But I think it's unlikely that Felipe Drugovich will score a point this afternoon. It's crazy to say when he is our race leader at the moment, but I get the feeling that he has got some big struggles heading his way.
It's a big hedging of bets, I think, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad position, because if you are as far back as 16th or wherever he started, there is, it's a Hail Mary, but it might work because stranger things have happened in Formula E, and if they find that there's too much bunching up coming out of the pit boost and no one can really make the benefit of that attack mode, it gets a little bit too spicy, the targets are too managed, everyone's going flat out. This is the moment where people are saving and you can make up the most positions.
Yeah, and do remember that Felipe Drugovich started from the final row of the grid. He started from 19th position in this race. He's searching for his first point in Formula E, and he is our race leader by a second. I think he's now come off the well, I say loud pedal, the throttle a little bit here, because he's not pulled away from Nick Cassidy at ridiculous speed. And it is Drugovich leading after 8 laps complete. It's Cassidy, Wehrlein, Ticktum, then Da Costa, Mortara, Gunther, Marti, Dennis, and then Nato.
We have 1% more than Cassidy, SOC. Ticktum is a bit better than us, 0.8.
That SOC is state of charge, and that was Pascal Wehrlein's race engineer basically explaining the situation to him and how they are looking pretty good at the moment.
Yeah, exactly, and I think interesting to hear that Ticktum is a little bit up on energy from Wehrlein as well, both running that Porsche powertrain, but Ticktum running one that's a year out of date. So very interesting to see that him driving a bit more efficiently to the former champion Pascal Wehrlein.
Pepe Marti, by the way, who is now running in 6th position. He is also in attack mode. Just going into attack mode is Lucas de Grassi. Best energy in the top 10 at the moment is Antonio Felix da Costa in 5th position, who might well be in 6th fairly soon, because Pepe Marti will be going on the attack.
Yeah, P1 and P2, Drogovic and Cassidy both now in the window for pit boost. We should see drivers start to come in between this lap 9 and sort of lap 14, 15. But it could be a big influx of pit boost activations coming very, very soon. Yeah,
Taylor Barnard was a bit further down the order, making a bit of contact with Jean-Eric Vergne, the pair of them going off the road. Very aggressive move from Taylor Barnard, who I think has had some frustrations in the DS Penske. Of course, he was a Neon McLaren driver last year and showed fantastically and all that, searching for his first victory. But I mean, realistically, it's not been the season to fight for, as Cassidy is back into the race lead. Dan Ticktum's going on the attack. Here's Ticktum on the radio.
Just be aware of Pepe, 2 cars behind in attack. Don't hold him up. He's got 2 minutes left.
I mean, that would be phenomenal, wouldn't it, for Pepe Marti, a home race, to be able to leave here with even a podium. I mean, it's not out of the question, is it? That Cooper Kira has shown the pace and efficiency that it needs, but there is still a lot more of the stories that unfold in this race today, including a very active pit lane, I think, it's got to be one of the next few laps.
I think this lap we might only see 1 or 2 come down, but next lap definitely we are going to see a few. Into the race lead comes Pepe Marti. So we've had Felipe Drugovich lead, one of our full-time rookies. We now have our second full-time rookie into the race lead. Pepe Marti for Cupra Kiro is just taken over the race lead. A bit of a look down the inside from Antonio Felix da Costa, who's trying to get past Dan Ticktum. We are going to be 10 laps into this race. At the moment, it is Pepe Marti leading from Cassidy, from Ticktum, from da Costa, Mortara, Drugovich, Wehrlein, Gunther, Nato, Dennis. Behind that is Buemi, de Grassi, Muller, then Taylor Barnard, De Vries, Ericsson, Evans, Jean-Eric Vergne, Ollie Rowland, and Zane Maloney, who's sitting 19th and 20th, way off of this pack. No one bites into the pit lane just yet. We are getting a lot of drivers that are ready for their pit lane entry.
Yeah, we're seeing the timing screen light up a little bit for this pit boost. That pit boost being the mandatory one stop you have to do per driver. It's ultra fast, 600 kilowatts, about twice, almost 3 times the speed of what you can get for normal people like us on the road with electric cars. So it's super efficient, super quick. Real quick, Nick Cassidy radio.
Yeah, we should have moved earlier. Sorry.
Interesting, not happy with the strategy, it seems there. Nick Cassidy, what do you make of that, Lewis? As he drops down into P3?
He said should have moved early, but moved in what sense? Do you mean move down into pit lane, move forward, move back into the pack where you'll not have to save so much energy? He has dropped back in 3rd, as you say, because it's a Cupra Kiro 1-2. Idris Elba, who is here, he is keeping an eye on his drivers, being Pepe Marti and Dan Ticktum, and I'm sure he'll be pretty happy looking at this.
I think Cooper would be happy as well. I think everyone in that pit lane, if you're just looking at pretty much everyone outside of Mitch Evans, Oliver Rowan and Zane Maloney are all able to do the pit boost now.
Yeah.
So I think we might see it's about to get hectic.
It is about to get busy. Do remember that each team only has one effectively pit bay. They only have one of the recharges, so that for Cooper Kira, for example, that are running 1st and 2nd, they cannot bring both drivers in. They're bringing in neither. Antonio Felix da Costa will be 1 to pounce. As behind will be Pascal Wehrlein. There is also the DS Penske of Gunther. Sebastian Buemi has come in from 12th, as has Nick De Vries in the Mahindra. The race lead will still remain in the hands of Pepe Marti and Dan Ticktum.
Now this is prime time now for anyone out on track that doesn't plan to come into the pit boost on the next lap to push like crazy and build up as much time and position as you can, or track position as you can. Keeping yourself in that clean air. The last thing you want is to come out in a mix of everybody with just as much power and just as much attack mode left to use.
One driver who will not be pitting, at least not at the end of this lap, they'll definitely be going for one more, is Lucas de Grassi. He sits in 5th position, but he's in attack mode. He's got 90 more seconds of that attack mode left to go. Started from 20th on this field. Already, by the way, he set the fastest first sector of the race, and that was about 1.5 seconds faster than the cars ahead. They were wondering as to how much attack mode makes a difference per lap in free practice. Yes, it was in the wet, so it was a little bit hard to tell, but the estimation is that it's between 2 to 3, and in the wet and greasy conditions, it was still kind of a little bit greasy out there. close to 4 seconds a lap.
Yeah, it's massive, and regardless of weather or the kind of slipperiness of the surface, just having the all-wheel drive and having that grip on tyres like you get in Formula E, with that instant torque you get and the kind of very slippery traction that comes with these super high accelerating cars, it goes a long way.
Absolutely. Now, as Da Costa and the lights come out of pit lane, the curiosity will be where are their second times. Into the pit lane comes Jake Dennis, I believe might be Felipe Drugovich. Actually, the two Andretti's were running line astern, and it is Drugovich into the pit lane. After starting 19th, leading a lap, he brings in Norman Nato. So the lead of this car, this race at the moment, is still Pepe Martin. Lucas de Grassi, though, has just stolen over the race lead to the lowly Yamaha Apt car. Will head up into the head spot, but it is Da Costa leading those pit boost runners. Max
Günther out of the pit boost leaders, the only one to take attack mode on that outlap. That could be very pivotal to the final race result. Let's see what happens there.
Yeah, he's about 2.5 seconds off of Da Costa, but he's gone into attack mode, being the first one to do so. By the time this pit boost sequence is done, Günther could have a very healthy lead. Here is Cassidy on the radio once more.
Tim, I hope he has my radio, but him and Martin need to raise the pace now. I'm okay to stay behind him, but he's got to raise the pace.
Obviously, this whole pack is effectively looking for the same thing. They're looking for the overcut to be the stronger one, so they're all needing to work effectively in tandem. And Nick Cassidy not going on the attack, sitting behind, being patient, saving energy, but they need the speed to be there as well.
That's just one part of the coin, though. You know, it's just one side of the coin, because if, yes, Cassidy might back himself with his energy targets to be able to push like that, Ticktum and Martin might not have that confidence in their efficiency of the package in the later stages of the race, because, yes, having that attack mode later in the race might help you make up positions, but you've got to have the energy left to do it.
Yeah, it's a really tricky one for these strategists to try and work their way. Da Costa will have a little bit of traffic as well in the near future. Zane Maloney is only 2 seconds clear of the pit boost leader, the driver that's heading the field of those that have made the pit stop. And Zane Maloney will be under no obligation to move out of the way. Into the pit lane comes De Grassi, comes Ticktum, Mortara and Taylor Barnard, 4 drivers in from that top grouping. Zane Maloney then will not be in this lap, because obviously he's De Grassi's teammate. And the reason why I'm pointing that out is, again, it's just one of those ones. Da Costa's going to have a car directly ahead of him that's not going to move out of the way. If they do catch him before pit stop, there could be a few parts to play here.
I think one thing we've noticed so far this season when it comes to successful attack mode strategy, one thing that has really proven massive is just clean air. So that might be why they didn't get themselves in attack mode straight away. Maybe they didn't feel like they had the clean air to maximise it. It's just trying to minimise how many positions or time you lose activating, and then having as much clean air as you can to use that extra power and keep the top speed up. But very close in the pit lane there, coming out of pit boost.
Yeah, that was Edo Mortara and Dan Ticktum, extremely close on the exit of their pit boxes, and they will rejoin the circuit. I mean, Dan Ticktum, who was second in this race coming into the pit boost, finds himself in 7th of those that have pitted. So not great from Cooper Kieran. That kind of makes you wonder if Pepe Martin, Nick Cassidy, they're going to come out way behind in this group. We'll have to wait and see on that one. We have 10 laps left to go, and into the pit lane comes Martin, comes Cassidy, comes Dennis, comes Muller, comes Ericsson. Evans will remain out on the circuit. I will give you an update on the order once everything's kind of settled around here, but we do have 9 laps left to go at the line.
They're just looking at the likes of Da Costa, this kind of net leader, let's say, with pit boost already having been done. Where he sits currently is he's found himself in a bit of a pack where there's almost like the people he will overtake when it comes into pit boost, like Zane Maloney in front of him, and everyone behind him pretty close, especially Max Günther on attack mode. So you can see why him and the Jaguar team are maybe delaying that attack mode for the former champion, but don't leave it too late. We've seen it be costly so far this season and take the wins away from drivers.
Yeah, 2 things to note that's just come out from race control. Number 1 is that Taylor Barnard just been given a 10-second post-race time penalty for contact between himself and John-Eric Verne. Also, Nick De Vries is under investigation for a pit boost procedure infringement. Get the feeling that will be a slam dunk penalty. Normally with those kind of things, same as speeding in the pit lane and such, there is a certain procedure you have to do. If you don't do it, there will be a significant penalty.
Now, if I'm Jaguar and I'm Da Costa now, I'm getting in attack mode immediately. There's clean air in front, loads of opportunity. As long as Günther isn't right on his tail, this is a perfect time to activate that attack mode use.
100%, and for Da Costa, he'd be looking for back-to-back victories in Formula E. Of course, winning that last round at Jeddah, looking extremely strong, finds himself 7th in the championship. Sure, that doesn't sound great. He finds himself 30-odd points nearly off the championship lead. Also doesn't sound great, but back-to-back victories, suddenly your championship is reignited. He does have Max Günther directly behind him. It's Da Costa from Günther from Wehrlein of those that have been into the pit lane.
But if he can activate without losing another position behind with the Porsche behind, he hasn't chose to do it this lap. Maybe he's going to wait for Günther's attack mode to run out to immediately take the position back, because attack mode versus attack mode isn't a gifted position. I think maybe that could be a good smart move from them.
Yeah, so next lap we could potentially see Antonio Felix Da Costa go into attack mode, because I do suspect he won't be the race leader by the time we get round to it. Mitch Evans and Ollie Ronan, the last two drivers, are into the pit lane, and we'll update you with where they come out. It is Da Costa who will become the race leader. It is Günther behind, it is Wehrlein, Buemi, Tickton, Mortara, De Grassi, Nato, Marti, and Nick Cassidy, who is 10th of those drivers that have been into the pit lane, and a fair way off our pit boost leader. That is a... he's not going to be happy on the radio, we'll go with that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think this is the moment now. Günther will come past Da Costa using that last 25 seconds of attack mode. No, Da Costa holds the line. He's not giving up that position easily. Is Günther still maybe even trying to save a little bit under attack mode? Surely not.
I mean, look, if he is, the thing is, you would have thought he would have got through easily. He does finally work his way through down into turn 2 as they head into the hairpin of turn 3. It is Günther leading with 4 seconds left to go of attack mode. That final little bit allowed them to get through, and Antonio Felix Da Costa. They have 2.6 seconds back to Pascal Wehrlein as Ollie Roland now will depart his way from pit lane, but it's in 19th position. Unfortunately, won't factor in this race unless there's a safety car. But if you're Antonio Felix Da Costa, you've got 2 and a bit seconds to take attack mode without losing a single position. He doesn't do it this time, though, and will remain. I think he's saving it for those last few laps of the race. We have 8 left to go. It'll be 7 at the line. Into attack mode, though, comes Nick Cassidy from 10th.
Jaguar must be very confident in their energy efficiency, that they're going to have the energy required to make the most of attack mode in the later stages of this race. We're 16 laps into 23-lap race. It can't give it that long. We've got 6 minutes of attack mode to use. It's a decent amount.
Yeah, it's effectively 4 laps of attack mode. Although this season, one of the rule changes coming into the season, and this is something that would be really stupid if you didn't do, you don't technically have to take all of the attack mode.
And just looking at the energy reveal now, Da Costa is 4% up on Max Günther, which shows you just how much extra energy you do use in that extra power mode of attack mode.
I mean, Evans, who was in 7th, we'll go Cassidy first.
And how many of these guys have done attack?
3 girls.
I think Cassidy, knowing maybe he's pulled the pin a little bit too early on attack mode. I was going to say Evans, by the way, in 7th position, 5% up on the race. You have 2 more than Da Costa, who is now just taken over the race lead, by the way. With it being about 1:30 a lap, so realistically it's 4 laps worth of attack mode from when you take it, as Nico Muller will find his way past Evans. Muller running now in 7th position, is in attack mode, and will work his way up a single position. One final thing to touch on that, if they don't use all of their attack mode by the end of the race, you don't get disqualified from it anymore. It is fine as long as you have taken it.
Yeah, I think Jaguar and Da Costa have played that so well. They've made Max Günther use every single ounce of energy in under attack mode there, to the point where now they're forced to save. Da Costa's taken the lead back again and has still got an attack mode left to use.
6 laps left to go in this race. It is Antonio Felix Da Costa who is the race leader. It is Günther behind, then Wehrlein, then Ticktum, then Buemi, who's just taken attack mode, has found his way back past the Briton of Dan Ticktum up to 4th position. Then it is Mortara in 6th, then Muller, who's just found his way past Mortara, so now he runs in 6th position. Nick Cassidy's up to 8th, then it's Evans and De Grassi, the top 10.
Lots of use of attack mode now. You've got Sebastian Buemi with 5 minutes left. Here's his team radio.
Okay, so be smart with this. Gap to leader just 2.5.
The tacticians and the strategy very much constantly unfolding when it comes to a Formula E race. You have your plan A, B, C, etc., but things change based on what happens around you.
cannot believe how high on energy Mitch Evans is. He's running in 9th position. Again, he's 2% up on his teammate. He's got 30%, where other drivers have got 25 around him. This could be ridiculously good for Jaguar TCS Racing on strategy, and they're leaving attack mode late.
They've still got 3 drivers ahead, though, including his teammates Acosta with attack mode yet to use. So being, 5 or so less.
I have no more energy. I'm dry.
Just hit your targets, mate. Just hit your targets. There's 6 laps to go. 6 laps to go. If you need more open targets, we can use race 4 for traction.
You might have just heard a lot of noises in your ear, by the way, and a lot of sound effects. That sound effect was attack mode being activated, and in the top 10, only 2 drivers are not in attack mode. Make that 1, because Norman Nardo's found his way past Degrassi and up into 10th. Everyone else is in attack mode except for Max Gunther, who is in 6th spot. He is about to rocket his way down the field, as will Nico Müller as well. He's only got 40 seconds left to go of it.
It was a bold strategy getting into that attack mode first before everybody else after the pit boost, but all it did was it allowed everybody else to make him consume all of their energy, and now he's a sitting duck right in the jungle of Formula E, where it's very, very hard to maintain position at this stage of the race.
Antonio Felix da Costa is your race leader. Sebastian Buemi is behind. Then it's Nico Müller and Pascal Wehrlein for Porsche. It's the Citroen of Nick Cassidy up to 5th position. It's Dan Ticktum who runs in 6th. Then Mortara, Evans, Nato and Gunther, who's already in that time has gone down to 10th. Here's Pascal.
Because swap 10-1.
Yeah, smart move from the 2 Porsches. They're swapping position. I don't think they've done it yet, but Pascal Wehrlein's got 4 minutes 40 left of attack mode. Nico Müller isn't in attack mode, so it seems like a no-brainer to swap and actually use this extra energy to their benefit. But I tell you what, Lewis, if I'm Da Costa, I'm rubbing my hands, because even that message of Buemi saying he hasn't got enough energy yet left to use the attack mode, all that's going to allow Da Costa to do is keep to his targets and not feel threatened and have to push too much and cause himself to not have energy at the end, and he's in attack mode.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is Da Costa's to lose from this point in the race. Jaguar TCS Racing have played their strategy cards very well, and with Evans, with the energy that he has left in the race, yes, everyone's in attack mode around him, but you could see him working his way up a little bit later on in the race. Nico Müller starts his drop down the field. He's run out of attack mode. Nick Cassidy's already come through and up into 4th position. He's got the Cupra Kira of Dan Ticktum right onto the rear end, knocking at the door to find his way through into the effectively the penultimate turn before the final chicane. It will be Dan Ticktum through. Nico Müller now has Edo Mortara getting to the outside of him as they go their way into that final chicane at 12, 13 and 14, but is able to fend off the Mahindra for now. That will last all the way until turn 1, I think, where I get the feeling that Edo Mortara is going to fly his way past.
I mean, Da Costa, Jaguar, you need to bring it home. That's all they've got to do. They're up on energy. They've got 3 minutes 25 seconds left of attack mode. This is exceptional strategy work from Da Costa and the Jaguar team.
It's been very well played for now. We have 4 laps left to go of this race. 4 long laps left to go.
Pascal Wehrlein, team radio.
We have 1% more than Buemi, same as Da Costa.
There we go, things levelling out a little bit now. Buemi is a sitting duck. I think Pascal's got over a minute and a half more of attack mode left when it comes Pascal Wehrlein, that is, to Sebastian Buemi. So that move is just an inevitability at this stage. Nick Cassidy out of attack mode now, and I think maybe their strategy not executed in the best way, leaving themselves now 5th down the order from pole position.
Yeah, and Cassidy is a driver who is wanting to show that speed consistency. He is a driver that we expect to contend for the World Championship when we head to the English capital later on in the year, but right now things will not be looking so good. We have a 4-way fight for the race lead, so things are looking great up here. It's Da Costa, Buemi, Wehrlein, Ticktum who run first through 4th, and separated by less than a second between the 4 of them, all of them in the hunt for victory. And the best on energy across all of them is Dan Ticktum in 4th.
And 2 minutes left of attack mode as well, similar to Antonio Felix da Costa and Pascal Wehrlein, who's made the move from Buemi into 2nd place, now sitting right behind Antonio Felix da Costa, and they're both almost to the second matched in attack mode and extra power.
3 laps left to go in this race. It's brilliant. We've got to look to the outside coming in from Ticktum to try and get past Sebastian Buemi, who's got 10 seconds left to go of attack mode, but could not find his way through at the opening corner. It's now 6th for the race lead as you include Edo Mortara and Mitch Evans back into it. Evans, of course, the winningest driver in Formula E history, getting squeezed off the road with 5th place Eden Mortara as he tried to look to the outside of the envision of Sebastian Buemi going through the left-hand hairpin of turn 3, and he's going to drop back down into 6th position. It's still Antonio Felix da Costa leading from Pascal Wehrlein, Dan Ticktum, Evans, Buemi and Mortara. As all that's happened, Buemi has just run out of attack mode.
The top 3 now pulling away a little bit from the likes of Mitch Evans and Sebastian Buemi. Let's see what happens where they're all matched on attack mode. About a minute left. It's going to give them a lap or a lap and a half of flat-out racing towards the end of this race.
Porsche power going toe-to-toe, but a year difference in development. It is Dan Ticktum. He finds his way back through on Pascal Wehrlein up to 2nd position. He's run 2nd quite a bit in this race to his teammate Pepe Marti. He now has 1 position to take over to try and steal victory here.
And Mitch Evans now in P4 looking to make a move up the outside of Pascal Wehrlein with 2% extra energy. You called that very well early doors, Lewis.
This is fantastic. We're going to have 2 laps left to go at the line, and the Cupra Kiro team look on, the Jaguar TCS Racing team look on, the Porsche team look on, but Porsche are dropping down. They're now off the podium in the hands of World Championship leader Pascal Wehrlein. He's now running in 4th because Mitch Evans has come through into 3rd. 2 Jaguar TCS Racing drivers find themselves in the podium positions with 2 laps left to go here in Madrid.
2 laps left, 5 drivers, all with matching attack mode use. It's all going to lose that extra power and that traction at the same time. Who is going to finish this race on the podium?
Oh, look, can we come back to Harama next year and a few more? This has been absolutely excellent. Our 40th different circuit to have raced, the newest addition to the ABB-FIA Formula E World Championship. It has been an excellent race. No safety car interventions, no nothing. An absolute sellout crowd here at Harama as well. And da Costa is just about leading. Ticktum is right under the rear end. They're pretty much locked on percentage. Evans is still the best of the lot of them, though, sat in 3rd position.
Just over a lap to go, and this is a battle between 2 of the biggest automotive manufacturers in the world. It's Jaguar v Porsche. Here's Dan Ticktum.
Right, good job, good job. Right, let's keep this solid.
I mean, they're keeping it very solid at the moment. It is so good, so tense here. As we've got 4 cars for the race lead, all separated by a second. They head up the hill into the left-hand hairpin at turn 9. It is Evans looking to the outside of Ticktum, but he cannot find his way through. A defensive line coming in from Antonio Felix da Costa, and a look to the outside coming in from Mitch Evans as he tries to find his way past Dan Ticktum. He's fully alongside as they come out of turn 10. Almost a brush between them. It's a Jaguar TCS Racing 1-2 as we come to the end of the penultimate lap. Just 1 left to go here at Harama.
Has he got 1 more move against his teammate in him, or is this going to be carefully considered and secure the Jaguar 1-2?
Oh, I mean, look, he's going to go for it. Surely he's going to go for it. This is Mitch Evans. He's a driver who's won so many times. It's 15 victories for Mitch Evans. He's searching for another one. He's searching for 16. He lifts to the outside. They're so close to the opening corner, but Antonio Felix da Costa is going to hang on his Ticktum.
Okay, just beware, Evans behind is 1% up on you. Last on the last call.
He's not behind anymore. He is ahead, and he's trying to take over the race lead once more. He looks to the outside as they work their way through the first of the 2 hairpins in the middle of the lap. Through turn 3 they go. Through turn 4 they go. The right-hander before rising up the hill at turn 5. It is da Costa still hanging on to victory.
Oh, I think they're calling it. I reckon this is going to look to bring this 1-2 home. It's so risky. They're level on percent now, maybe 0.5% in it. Ian James, he watches on in pure anxiety, I imagine.
But they can't hang on too much because surely if they do, Ticktum's going to try something here. It was again a bit of a look to the outside coming in from Evans. There is only 1 sector left to go of racing. It's a fast sector, but there's some good overtaking opportunities here. Brilliant racing.
I'm watching it all. I mean, it's just exceptional.
And there is a good percentage difference on energy, though, which Evans has the advantage on. We have just a few corners left to go. The turn 10 hairpin, it goes to the right. It's a double apex. They bring it back to the second one with da Costa still leading. And they go down the hill now through turn 11. This shoot through the penultimate corner before that final chicane. Still 1 last opportunity to go for the overtake. They're so close on energy. Dan Ticktum's going for the look as well as he tries to find his way through in a second. But it is going to be Antonio Felix da Costa who's going to win here in Madrid and take his 14th victory in Formula E if he can just hang on to the line. It is a Jaguar TCS Racing 1-2 here in Madrid. What an epic at Harama. Da Costa from Evans, from Wehrlein who stole it away from Ticktum at the line.
What a drive for Antonio Felix da Costa. What a drive for Jaguar TCS Racing. That is exceptional work.
Unbelievable race. Absolutely love that. I have a smile from ear to ear. And Antonio Felix da Costa goes back-to-back here after winning over a month ago in Jeddah. He wins here at the inaugural race at Jarama, the inaugural Madrid E-Prix, a Jaguar TCS Racing 1-2. The thing that they did better than anyone else, they played the strategy game perfectly.
They really, really did. Pit boost, attack mode, positioning, timing, efficiency, it all came together. And kudos to everybody at Jaguar TCS Racing. That was phenomenally done.
That was
very
amazing,
well
mate.
deserved
That
victory.
was amazing. That was a lot of managing. A lot of managing. Ooh, that was a difficult one. That was awesome. Look.
A happy and popular winner,
Yeah!
I think.
He's happy, yeah. Hanging out of his cockpit, cheering to the fans,
Sorry,
watching, and the rest of the team.
Oh, it's okay, we enjoy it,
We did enjoy it. Not only the team Jaguar TCS Racing, not only the driver Antonio Felix da Costa, not only the thousands of fans that have arrived at Jarama, but I'm sure me and you saw this here, we at the commentary booth, very much enjoyed that.
It was difficult in here. And what a result, man, for the team. What a result. A 1-2 in this championship doesn't come often. So, well done, Jaguar TCS Racing, all the boys and girls here in back in Gaydon, back in Kidlington. Thank you. Thank you. That's cool. The back is back. Yes.
He never left.
He never left. He will be joint second in the all-time winners list at 14 as well after that, of course. His teammate Mitch Evans has 15 victories and is #1 on the all-time winners list. And with Antonio Felix da Costa going like this, I wouldn't be surprised if a 15th race victory is somewhere on the horizon. He's now 4th in the championship, just 19 points off the championship lead.
Yeah, big driver, big performance. We get some more team rating from now, I think.
He's not going to voice. He's surely going to be losing his voice at some point. At some point, he's going to keep shouting like that. Absolutely incredible to have there. Look, it's drives like that where I'm like, I'm so surprised. I'm almost a little bit speechless. It's not great for a commentator. I'll have you know, but. Do you know what? I said at the start of the season, we were talking about who we think is going to be champion, and yeah, there's all this, that, and the other. I'm going to say it. I did say da Costa.
Yeah, I mean, da Costa.
We're a long way away.
Phenomenal driver, and I think he just needs to have that combination of a good car and a good team and good support. And I think he had the good car, but he didn't have the support from the team in the previous seasons with Porsche. That was very public, both from him and everyone else involved. I think he's found a really nice mix, a really good fit at Jaguar TCS Racing. A good teammate as well with Mitch Evans, and the two of them could look to do very well this season.
Look, they are at this point surely the firm favourites for the team's championship. They're going to keep going like that. At the moment, it is still going to be Porsche leading the team's championship by just 3 points over Jaguar TCS Racing. I'm talking about points quite a lot at the moment, but there is still a long time left to go in the championship. We've still got 11 races left.
Yeah, just looking at that battle, we were screaming at the screen watching da Costa, Evans and Tickton. But looking at the timing now, Pascal Wehrlein actually might have done it on the line. I don't know if I missed that.
Yeah, no, he did just pass as they were heading up towards the line. Don't worry.
I was in a frenzy at that point.
Don't worry. I spotted it. You're all good. You're all good. Absolutely fine.
That's why you're lead.
Some big celebrations coming in from Antonio Felix da Costa, who finds himself a single position and a single point, actually, down the championship from his teammate, who will get to celebrate on the top steps of the podium. At the moment, though, we'll go through the race order. It is Antonio Felix da Costa from Mitch Evans, from Pascal Wehrlein, the top 3 who will step onto the podium. Dan Tickton missing out by 0.2 of a second, with Edo Mortara, Buemi, Dennis, Muller, Marty and Joel Eriksson, who'll be rounding out the top 10. Norman Nato will be in 11th position with Lucas Di Grassi Rossi in 12th, Max Günther in 13th, dropping down late on in the race with Jean-Eric Verne in 14th. Felipe Drugovich did fail to score points, unfortunately, once again. He'll be in 15th, just ahead of world champion Ollie Rowland. Nick Cassidy down to 17th position. I'm sure there was some drama late on in the race for him. Nick de Vries lost his front wing and ended up down in 18th position, along with a couple of penalties. Taylor Barnard and Zane Maloney will round out the 20-car field. At the top of the championship, just to give you a bit of an update, and why not, whilst we've spoken about it so many times, we've completed 6 races of the season. It is Pascal Werner who leads on 83 points. It's 72 for Edo Mortaro, who finished 5th this afternoon. And it's Mitch Evans, Antonio Felix da Costa and Nico Muller, the top 5. It will be, again, a bit of a break before we're racing once more, as we won't be racing until the 2nd and 3rd of May. That's when we return to Berlin, to the Tempelhof Airport Street Circuit, where I'm sure we're going to be having some fantastic racing once again in yet another doubleheader in Formula E. From myself, Lewis McGlade, from Saunders Carmichael Brown, I'll look forward to seeing you in Berlin in just over a month's time after an epic here at Jarama for the opening Madrid E-Prix. We thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you at the start of May. Until then, bye-bye.
As we know, this place so historic in racing. Antonio Felix da Costa now etching yourself into those history books as well. Tell us how you're feeling. How was that? That was such intense racing.
It definitely was, and it's a special one for many, many reasons. Obviously, back-to-back wins, that doesn't happen often. A 1-2 for the team, that doesn't happen often. So massive congratulations to all the boys and girls back in the UK, providing us with these cars. And it's kind of a home race for me. I have a lot of friends and family here, and yeah, a bit of a dream day.
1-2 for Jaguar TCS Racing. There was a lot of radio between you two, though, and then some words after the race. Is everything okay?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we're both winners. We both wanted to win. I think we just got different messages, but we'll work it out. And you know, happy for Mitch. He must have done an amazing race. I got to go back and watch that because he came from the back. But yeah, happy with what we executed today, and it's a dream day.
It's time to celebrate for you. Congratulations,
Absolutely. It's going to be
Antonio.
a big one tonight. Thank you.
Again, dirty. What the is he doing then? Dog poor man. I should have been surprised.
Yeah, and Tom, you can really see it on his face. We just asked Antonio about the words that were exchanged, but what are you feeling right now?
I'm disappointed. I should have won the race, but I don't want to take anything away from Antonio. He drove a mega race, a 1-2 for the team. And yeah, the team got the result they wanted.
1-2 for the team on completely different strategies. That was a hard race out there. I mean, tell me about those last couple laps.
Yeah, I mean, I was playing the long game, and I had a good energy advantage, and yeah, they got me in the fight during the pit window, and especially towards the end. And yeah, I was surprised to be in the mix, but with my energy advantage, yeah, it was going to be a good finish, but still was just not the result I was hoping for. Is what it is, but yeah, great 1-2 for the team.
Yeah, good points for Jaguar TCS. Thanks, Mitch. just as you said, Tom, 21st podium, the former champion. A third place finish today. That was intense racing out there. You kind of had a different view of the battle, and you went for it there at the end, ultimately coming up just a little bit short. But nonetheless, still a great day for you. I'd like to hear about it.
Yeah, I think with what happened very early into the race with De Vries when he hit my back and yeah, damaged the car quite badly on the rear wing, just hanging around and touching the tire and so on. I wasn't expecting to finish on the podium today, but yeah, even better we did. Who knows what would have been possible without that contact and a proper car intact and not damaged, but yeah. I think the last couple of laps I just had to accept that I was not in the fight for the win, so I backed off a tiny bit because I was down on energy, but still kept myself into a position exactly for what happened in that last lap between Dan and Mitch, yeah, where I could then yeah, take the podium and good points.
A rebound day for Pascal Wehrlein. Ended up on the podium. Thanks, Pascal.
It was tough at the end there. I don't know what you could have done there. You went for the gap. But
I don't know what I could have done.
No,
I don't know what I could have done.
It's
just everyone going 4 mile an hour. It's just can't be. I hate it. What do I need to do to reset?